Hello, my dear students. Today's class is about media for industrial fermentation. Myself, Dr. Shibu, from the Department of Biotechnology. So, as a biotechnology students, you may be aware about what is mean by media. All of you probably prepared media, for example, MS media, and then nutrient agar media, LB agar media, like that. Several different type of media we already prepare. So we know what is mean by media. This will support the growth of microbial cells. For that, we are preparing the media. Now, the media which we are going to use in an industrial fermentation, that is differ from the normal media what we are using in the laboratory scale. Okay. Normally in our laboratory we are using the purified media, but in an industrial level we cannot able to use that much of purified media because of the cost efficiency. As we know that the cost of the media is very high when we are using it is in a pure form. So substituent, or the alternative things which we will supply to the fermentation, which will be used as a substrate for the fermentation. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss. So what is media? Detailed investigation is needed to establish the most suitable medium for an individual fermentation process. But certain basic requirement must be met by any such media. So before designing the media for a particular antibiotic or a primary metabolite or a secondary metabolite, we need to detailedly investigate about the source of the media. What is the media we are going to use? What is the composition of the media? And what type of cells we are going to use it? We want a purified chemicals or an complex mixture of chemicals, that all should be investigated. Then only we need to use the media. Okay. So, for example, in our laboratory, if you want to culture E. coli, what we are commonly doing is we are just taking the nutrient agar, taking the chemical ready-made media, we are mixing it, adding water, and we are preparing the media. After that, we will take the culture. We are growing the microbial cells. We know that we can aware about E. coli can able to grow it on nutrient agar, but who said E. coli can able to grow it on the nutrient agar? Some, of course, there may be a teacher or investigator, he said, or you can refer it in a book and you can found the source, and we are doing that. But in an industrial level, it is not like that. Every time they are doing a research and they can find out the proper and perfect media for the microbial cells. We cannot able to say that all the media will be support the growth of microbials. Okay, so for example, in nutrient agar, not only E. coli will grow, along with that some other microorganism will also can able to grow that. But we cannot able to say that the 100 percentage chemical which can be utilized by the living cells. Okay, so if you are transferring this medium system to the industrial level, we need to do certain type of research, and you can able to find out the media. That's what it is mentioned here. All microorganisms commonly requires water, and it's needed a source of energy. Then near require carbon and carbon sources, and it require nitrogen, mineral element, and other possible vitamins, plus some oxygen. If it is an aerobic bacteria, it requires some aerobic or oxygen for their survival. If you are providing this, it will give the product, it will generate, it will grow its biomass, it will produce its biomass, and along with the biomass, when the cells are growing, their metabolites also are synthesized. Okay. On a small scale, it is relatively simple to devise a medium which is containing a pure compound, but the resulting medium, although supporting satisfactory growth, may be unsuitable for use in a large scale. That's what I already mentioned. That in a simple scale and a simple media, we can use a purified compound. Okay, to grow the cells. For example, in the case of laboratory. But if you are transferring to the industrial level, we cannot able to use it because the cost of the product we need to it will be produced. The cost will be very higher when we are using the purified media. So what we want to do it is, for this particular media, we need to substitute something else to generate. For example, instead of sucrose, you can add some carbohydrate. Okay, ultimately carbohydrate is break down into sugar. Okay, so it is same like purified glucose or sucrose is there. Carbohydrate is also there. What is the source you are going to use, that you should have to decide based on the experiments. Okay, that's what it is mentioned about the media. On a large scale, one must normally use source of nutrient to create a medium which will meet as a possible of the following criteria. Just what they mentioned here is, this is the criteria for a food media. That's what it is mentioned. If it is a, there are the media should attain certain criteria to qualify to be a good media. That's what it is mentioned. The first point is, it will produce the maximum yield of product or biomass per gram of substrate which is used. That is a major point. Second point is, it will produce the maximum concentration of product or biomass. Almost say, okay, so almost say maximum yield of product and the concentration of product or biomass. Then it will permit the maximum rate of product formation, maximum concentration of product and biomass. Then it will also permit the maximum rate of product formation. Then there will be a minimum yield of undesirable product. It should not produce more toxic compound or undesirable product. If it is so, it will disturb the downstreaming and purification. Okay, that's what it is mentioned. There will be a minimum yield of undesirable product. Then next point is, it will be of consistent quality, and it will be need readily available throughout the year. Okay, so throughout the year the source should be available. For example, if I am taking a plant which is growing on or 6 months, okay, so it will take 6 months to grow it, and that plant I am using as my substrate. Okay, so I want to wait for another 6 months for the plant to grow it. So it is a waste of time. Okay, so we need to think about it. Okay, so like that we need to select the media source what we are using. It should be readily available throughout here. Whenever I want to run the industry, whenever I need a media, I need it should be readily available like that. Then it will cause minimum problem during media making and sterilization. So the media will not disturb the sterilization process. Sometimes while preparing the media, the sugar will burn it and it leads to caramelization. Okay, for that you need to sterilize the sugar separate and other components separate like that. Okay, so it should not create a major problem. That's what we cannot able to completely say that no problem. Just mentioning minimal problem. Then next point is, it will cause minimal problem in other aspects of the production process, particularly aeration and agitation, extraction, purification, and waste treatment. This is about downstreaming. So it will not cause any major problems during the downstream. Okay, so this is the quality of the good media. Next is the media formulation. Okay, so how we can able to formulate a media. So media formulation is an essential stage in the designing of successful laboratory experiment, then pilot scale development and manufacturing a process. In a fermentation industry, media formulation is one of the essential stage in designing the success of an industry. Okay, the constituent of the media must satisfy the elemental requirement for cell biomass and metabolite production, and there must be an adequate supply of energy for biosynthesis and cell maintenance. Okay, the composition of the media should have to support certain elemental requirement which is needed for the biomass as well as the metabolic production. Okay. So the first step to consider in an equation based on the fermentation is, so the major equation it is given here is carbon and energy source. Okay, carbon and other energy source along with certain nitrogen source, then oxygen, other requirements such as vitamins, minerals, etc., which gives biomass product, then carbon dioxide as a byproduct, and heat as well as the water. Okay, when we are supplying carbon source, nitrogen source, oxygen, and other nutrients, okay, to the fermentation system or fermenter to grow the microorganisms or any cells, it will produce a biomass, then product, then carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is the equation just quoted here for media formulation. So here it is example, some of the example of fermentation media, commercially available fermentation media. So like that, there are more examples to be present in a book called Principles of Fermentation Technology, Stanberry. Principles of Fermentation Technology by the author Stanberry. You can refer and you can get more examples about this fermentation media. Okay. Knowing that a certain amount of biomass is necessary to produce a defined amount of product, it should be possible to calculate the substrate concentration necessary to produce the required product. Okay, if you are knowing what are all the component which is required for the biomass to grow, then we can easily calculate the substrate concentration. That's what it is mentioned. There may be medium components which are needed for product formation, which are not required for biomass. Okay, sometimes the medium component which will not needed for the product formation, which are not required for biomass production. Okay, sometimes it will produce a product formation which is not supported the growth of microbial cells. Okay, the knowledge of the elemental composition of a process microorganisms required for the solution of an elemental balance equation. So a detailed knowledge of the elemental composition, what are all the major components and the minor components which is required for a microbial system to grow, that should be studied in detail, then only we can able to form the equation. This information may not be available, so that data will be serve as a guide to absolute minimum quantities of nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, magnesium, potassium to include in a initial medium recipe. Some trace elements such iron, zinc, copper, molybdenum, cobalt, boron, etc. may also be needed in much small quantity. Okay. So the information is not readily available for all the microbial cells, but you can get a guide to find out what is the requirement of each microorganism. That's what we need to study, research it. Okay, we can review the literature to find out the major requirements and the minor requirements which will support the growth of the microbial cells should be studied. Some microorganism cannot synthesize specific nutrient, for example, amino acid, vitamins, or nucleotides. Okay, once a specific growth factor have been identified, it can be incorporated into a medium in adequate amount as a pure or a complex mixture. Okay. So all the microorganism cannot able to synthesize a specific nutrient, for example, some amino acid, vitamins, or nucleotides. In such cases, we need to add that particular type of amino acid or vitamin purely or as a complex mixture to the media. Okay. So this is what it was mentioned about the media formulation and certain elemental composition. Here, this tabular column which is mentioning about the elemental composition of bacteria, yeast, and fungi. You can see that how carbon, what is the quantity of carbon, what is the quantity of phosphorus, sulfur, etc. should be given here. I hope you'll understand about the basics of media. So if you have any doubt, you can contact me. That's all for today. See you in the next class. Thank you.